All right, looks like Bannerlord's given us a little bit of an early Christmas present with the Bannerlord development update number 6. Now this one is pretty spicy. Now in my typical fashion, I'm going to upfront all the things that they talk about in this video. I'm going to talk about each one of them separately, but just in case you want the hard and fast knowledge of what's in the video, they talk about adding settlement notifications, much like the famous mod that everyone uses. So you'll be able to see if there's a tournament, if there's any quests in the settlements by just looking on the overworld itself. You won't have to go to individual settlements now. They're adding the ability to give a fief or fief, as well as giving it away to the faction. So you can give it to one of your followers, or you can give it back to the faction. Also, they're adding passive relation bonuses in the sense that you can put one of your party members in a settlement and they will gain passive relation for you. It's part of the new emissary party role that they're adding to the game. Also, they're adding rebellions into the game, keep battles, so you'll actually have a whole entire fight in keeps. So those are just some of the highlights that were covered in this video. I'm going to be talking about those highlights in a little bit more detail, as well as going through the community wish list that we put out a couple months back and how these development updates have been in line with that community wish list. But that's all you wanted to know. Go ahead and shut the video down. You're good to go. Before you do, please go ahead and leave a comment or like or subscribe, any of that kind of stuff. It really does help me out. But for those of you who want to stay in for the nitty and gritty, let's get going here. I'm going to go ahead and just unpause the video. We're going to let it roll. I've muted this because I don't want to get any kind of YouTube copyright strikes or anything like that. So if you do want to watch this, it will be in the description. You can bring it up and watch it alongside. But for the most part, if you're looking to get all the information from the video, I'm going to be talking over it, so I apologize. But to start off, we get the ability to grant and relinquish the fief. I've mispronounced it like 50 times and I can't remember the right pronunciation anymore. But essentially what this is going to do is give you the ability to gift it to another clan within the kingdom. So you can start to strengthen a specific clan, or maybe give it away back to the kingdom, where they will then have, as you can see, an election to vote for the new owner of a castle or a settlement. So if you maybe got it and you want to have a very specific set of settlements and castles that are maybe close together, you can now do that. So settlement notifications have been added in. This is just like the, God, I can't even remember the name of the mod, but the mod that enables these in games is now home baked into the game. So it's awesome to see this just hard coded in. You don't have to worry about it anymore modding it. It's now there to stay. You can disable birth and death now, which is basically the way the video says it out to be, is like, hey, we did this so that you can choose if you want the original style of Bannerlord or if you want birth and death to be a part of the game. Now, I'm saying birth and death as it pertains to other party members, other clan members, stuff like that. It's not strictly to just you. So keep that in mind. This is about the world itself evolving and moving on. And also with that, they have added the ability to make it so that clans themselves can marry, can have children. So it's going to make it so there's a little bit more, I guess you could say, the world's a little bit more alive is probably a better way to put it. So we'll be seeing that added to the game. And I think that a lot of this is really good. We're going to take a look at the community wish list at the end of this video, but it's great to see this because what they're doing is they're trying to break apart the wealth from all of the clans too. This is supposed to prevent steamrolling where one kingdom just gets so strong and the other ones can't keep up. So they're adding in ways for them to come back, even if they've lost a couple settlements, and the kingdom will have a shared treasury versus it being relegated to just one clan. This enables it so that the kingdom itself doesn't just have one super powerful clan that if it gets killed or captured, they can't really field a strong army. It just allows them to really stay in the fight longer since they're all pulling from the same pool of money. Now, I do see some issues with that. I could see the AI probably not necessarily inflating that, but I could see them actually crippling themselves by doing it. But on the same end of that coin, they've gotten rid of, I guess you could say, artificial inflation, which was making it where some kingdoms were way too rich versus the others. So that is now fixed with the simulation improvements. Now for the passive relation effect, this gives you the ability to leave a party member in a settlement. And They don't go into any detail outside of just saying it, but they said that this is going to be part of the new emissary that they will be adding to the party roles for your clan, which is really exciting. It's cool to see that they're adding these new roles, because we've talked about this in a lot of different ways. Like, hey, what if there was a spy master? What if there was an arms master? Leveraging other skills that are currently not leveraged in the existing roles in Bannerlord. So this is a really, really fun one, because like I said before, it paves the way for more improvements in the party role department to hopefully expand out to more and better skills. I don't remember what the next one is. Rebellions. So this was actually a really heavily requested one with the community wish list. And I know I keep bringing that up. Like I said, I'll talk about it at the end of the video, because I shared that community wish list with the developers of the game. They said, this is huge. Thank you so much. Now, it directly told the developers, like, hey, these are the things we want to see. And a lot of people have said, what's the point of having a poor public order if nothing ever happens with it? So at a certain point, the public order will drop, and there will be a secondary faction or kingdom created in the diplomacy section. And you can see it says Charos Rebels. As soon as the total strength equals or surpasses the garrison strength of that location. So, go ahead and, does he hover over it? Does he hover? Let's go back just a little bit. But as soon as it surpasses that garrison strength, then, God, it was like right there. Then they will actually do the revolt. So it's a 276 right now, and it is garrison's 207. So it should trip off. They'll do their rebellion now and try to take over that region and appoint a new clan to it. It doesn't become an independent faction. It becomes a new clan within the kingdom. Is what it sounds like to me. We'll of course do some testing on that and see how it really happens, or if it's just that's the clan that holds it now. I have chosen by the people of Charos. Okay, so yeah, so it is a clan that takes it over as an independent faction. My bad. Sorry about that. I thought they were saying that a clan will take it over in place in that faction. But they're also going to be adding some prison breaks to the game. So a whole new event will be kicking off where you try to break people out of prison, which is another heavily requested feature, especially if you have people that have been captured. Maybe even the king of your kingdom, you can go and now break them out of prison, which is extremely awesome. This is something that the closed beta testers told me about existed in the game and was at one point a part of the class system in the game. Now, this also leads into the next point, which is keep battles, which is another portion of from the holdover from the beta. But you will actually be able to have big, awesome keep battles now that expand the sieges of these individual cities and these individual castles. And I'm excited to see how this really works. I think in the next month or two, we're going to be really plugging back into Bannerlord, as there's been so many improvements to the game across the range combat improvements, the education system for your kids. They've made the world more alive, and I think that's probably one of the biggest and best things about it. So I'm really excited to see some of these updates coming in, hopefully the new beta branch in the next week or two. I would imagine, actually, to be totally honest, we probably won't see the beta branch update until the beginning of 2021. I think they probably have taken now up until the new year off. Maybe we'll get it at the beginning of next week, but I think that it's safe to say beginning of January is when we'll get that new beta branch. We'll start a new campaign on the channel. We'll have a lot of fun with that, testing it, breaking it, going through all these improvements. But let's go over to the community wish list that we did here. Now, this essentially was a wish list created by you guys. I said in a video, hey, I'd like to do a wish list. I want to pool together some of the thoughts that you guys all want, and I want to put it together in this gigantic Google Doc. So the video itself, these were the initial votes. Then I posted this on the forums, on the Reddits, everything to get more votes in. So essentially people would then fill out a survey of things that they would like added to the game. It was a list of 3. It was a huge list. It was this entire list, this entire wish list. And they chose up to 3 things they wanted added. And of those 3, the ones that rose to the top are, let's just go with these. Yeah, we'll do top 5 right here. So the top 5 ones that are added are Kingdom Management Rework, Become a King, which has been done, War Goals, not so much, Kingdom Relationships, which has been done, Espionage, hopefully will be added in, Diplomacy and Alliances is in process, it seems like, Creating Patrols, not so much, Civil Wars, kind of with Rebellions, Arranging Marriages, not quite specifically, but we are getting in the umbrella of marriages in general. Boats and Naval Economy, I really hope we do see. The management of all of these settlements, so roads, petitions, governors, free up party slots, production, customization, revolutions, workshops, NPC governors, so on and so forth. It seems like we're kind of getting pieces of that in some way, shape, or form. Fixing the skill perks and skill leveling, that is definitely being done on a pretty huge scale. So you can see that they're doing a lot of what the community is asking for. And this is such a small nuance, right? This is, I made a video, I posted this up, and it probably had traction for a week or two. And then after that, obviously, it kind of it fell off. And across, we can see right here, the breakout is 2,785 votes. And I broke it up into 3 categories: campaign changes, fix or mechanic reworks, or additional content. And from what you guys, it seemed like a pretty good split between everything, 14, 17, 16, across all 3 of those categories. But I'm really excited to see what more we get with Bannerlord. They said they were looking to do a 10 or 11 month early access, and it came out the end of March. So we're getting up to those final 3 months. And in the last 2 months, we've seen a lot of really impressive polishing and adding some very in-depth mechanics, or fleshing out some of the existing ones that seem like they just didn't go anywhere. It seems like they're kind of tying off some loose ends. And they've always kind of added some form of new armor or weapon per beta branch. Some sort of, hey, here's a new Battanian chainmail, here's another new Battanian chainmail, and here's another Battanian chainmail, and then here is a Sturgian chainmail. So they've at least thrown in some different variations here and there. But I am really excited to see what we get in 2021 with Bannerlord. I'm wondering if they're probably going to push back that early access by a couple months here because of COVID. But as a whole, guys, I'm really stoked on this. Hopefully we get a ton more content coming out of them with future dev updates, and hopefully it speeds up in the new year, right? We had the last beta branch was, I want to say, mid-November, and we haven't had an update since then, and I've actually kind of been eagerly awaiting one. So it looks like we'll be getting one pretty spicy in the new year. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. It is Christmas Eve over here in the States, so if you are a participant in this holiday, have a good Christmas, have a good holiday, everyone. Please, everyone, stay safe. We'll see you here in the new year. We got tons of stuff planned on the channel, but as always, have a good one and take care.